I still cannot believe I have not talked about this suburb area of San Antonio yet. It is so close to town, one of the most affordable areas, and it is in the prime spot for you military families relocating here, whether you're retired or active duty. This is the Schertz and Cibolo area of San Antonio on that northeast corner, right by Randolph Air Force Base. Has some amazing amenities around here. It's a great spot with lots of neighborhoods, both old and new, especially like these new ones behind me today. We're gonna look at 3 of these neighborhoods, these new build neighborhoods in this area, along with go through everything you need to know about moving here, including the restaurants, the schools, the pluses and minuses, the negatives, and of course, gotta tell you about some real estate statistics whenever we're talking about these areas. So I'll tell you a little bit about the real estate in this Schertz Cibolo area. And exactly why you need to consider moving here. We'll get into all of this right here, right now. First thing we're going to talk about is where that Schertz Cibolo area is at. So if you're looking at the overall map of San Antonio, you're going to see in this northeast corner here, you're going to see Schertz, Universal City, Cibolo, right here by Randolph Air Force Base. So Randolph Air Force Base is part of Joint Base San Antonio, one of the main areas, one of the main bases. In the San Antonio area, you have Randolph, you've got Lackland, Fort Sam, and then Camp Bullis. Those 4 make up Joint Base San Antonio. Randolph is one of the hubs, especially for Air Force, of course, along with Lackland. Very, very big military area, the Schertz Cibolo area is. To get to downtown, again, as you can see, it is not far. I mean, it is right on the edge of San Antonio, kind of opposite of Helotes over on the northwest side. Right between essentially San Antonio and New Braunfels up here, and it takes you about 20 to 25-ish minutes to get downtown San Antonio. About the same to get to the airport, probably a little bit less to get to the airport. About 15-20 minutes to get over to New Braunfels. So it's a really, really good location. It's a little bit more affordable than some of the different places in New Braunfels, although New Braunfels has a little bit more sub 300 neighborhoods than the Schertz Cibolo area does. The Schertz Cibolo area does have some other areas outside of it that we're not going to really talk about in depth today because there's just too much to cover, right? Garden Ridge is a big one right here, kind of north of the Schertz area. Very small little town, but a very high-end town. That's where the new Davenport High School is, which feeds actually a couple of the neighborhoods that are in this kind of area between Schertz and New Braunfels. You also have Live Oak right here, Selma, which is kind of right on the border of, on 35. And then you also have Converse, which Converse itself kind of covers. So you can see Converse is right here inside Loop 1604, right by Randolph, and it kind of goes south here, right? So there's a lot of new construction down here. What we're going to focus on for our discussions here are the neighborhoods and the areas that fall within that Schertz Cibolo Universal City ISD. So kind of that general area, which Schertz is here, right? Universal City, Cibolo. I mean, they're one in the same, this entire area. Very hard to differentiate between the two. Schertz definitely has its own little downtown area, kind of same as Cibolo, the same little shopping areas and different addresses and things like that. But again, this whole kind of general area is all one and the same essentially to most people. As you can see from this map, you can see that it is very, very developed. You've got a ton of neighborhoods here. It is a very family-focused area. There is not a ton of nightlife or anything else different than what you would get in San Antonio or New Braunfels. So you're going to have a lot of neighborhoods, you're going to have a lot of parks, you're going to have a lot of just kind of general shopping centers. You've also got a few other things that we'll talk about too, but just as you can see all the different neighborhoods that are kind of scattered all throughout here. Relatively new also. We'll get into some specifics in the real estate section when we're talking about the stats there, but most everything here has been developed within the last 20 years. So you're going to see a lot of new-ish homes. There's kind of running out of space here, so you're going to have fewer and fewer neighborhoods that are in the Schertz Cibolo area. That's why you see a lot more down here being built in this open farmland, which is Converse. You have a lot of development in this area south of I-10 and 1604 there. And then as far as population goes, this general area is about 100,000 people. Overall, it's well over 100, if you count like the Selma, Garden Ridge, Converse areas. But Universal City has about 20,000 people. Schertz has about 43,000. Cibolo has about 36,000. So right about 100,000 people for this area that we're talking about. Of course, Randolph Air Force Base is the main driver for a lot of the growth here because it is such a big base. There's a lot of people that do live on base. There's a lot of people that live off base. There's a lot of people that are retired or, that have moved back here to San Antonio and that have decided to stay stay in the Schertz and Cibolo area because it is such a great area for, a lot of military families that have, been here over the years, right? It's also not far from Fort Sam. So Fort Sam is right here closer into downtown. So you can see it's a pretty easy drive. It's one of the easiest, closest commutes from, a suburb area of San Antonio to get down into Fort Sam, Houston, right here. So that's another big driver there. Schools are also very highly rated. So you have the Schertz Cibolo Universal City ISD, which is rated an 87 out of 100. Two high schools, Steele High School, which serves Cibolo, and then Clemens, which is more the Schertz area. Both of those are very highly rated schools. Steele is an A-rated school. Clemens is a B-rated school. Steele's won state in football before. Very, competitive when it comes to athletics, if that's important to you as well. Both of those schools are really, really good for that. Another option, because of Randolph being right here, that I want to mention is that if you do live on base, you get automatic acceptance into Randolph Field ISD, which is one of the highest rated school districts in all of San Antonio. So I don't talk about that one very much because it's specific to the people that are going to be stationed at Randolph. And if you're living on base, you get automatic entry into it. It's a 95 out of 100 rated school district. Every school is basically A-rated, so it is a really, really, really good district. If you are active duty stationed at Randolph, there is a opportunity for you to apply to transfer in as a, I guess, quote unquote, non-permanent resident of the base and get a sort of transfer waiver to be able to put your kids in those schools if you want the smaller, more military focused schools. But again, completely up to you on that. But it's a really, really good rated school district too. Like I mentioned, location is another big reason people do want to live in this area because of its proximity between New Braunfels and San Antonio, and just being right there on 35. It's an easy commute to get pretty much anywhere in San Antonio, and then just going to New Braunfels to do all the things that New Braunfels has to offer is a big benefit as well. Now let's talk about some of the different amenities and things that you would maybe like to do in this Schertz and Cibolo area. So a couple of the big things as far as entertainment goes, you have the Santikos and Evo Entertainment Center. They're right on 35, pretty much right next to each other. Really, really nice movie theater, bowling, arcade, laser tag, all that kind of stuff. You've got the Retama Park horse racing. So let me show you on the map here. So the Santikos, I believe, is up further past here. So there's Santikos here. Show you what that is. So you can see kind of a big theater, arcade, and here's Evo. Very, very similar. Both of those just kind of gives you some different options to explore. You've also got the flea market here. This has been around a long time, since I was a kid. I remember I used to go here. We would, golly, this is aging me a little bit. Right when Pokemon cards and everything came out, I would go look at that. I remember whenever I was a kid, but also got a lot of baseball stuff too. I'm a big baseball guy, but it's a lot of fun just to go hang out there. You can see 3,000 reviews. The thing's been around a long time. And then so Retama Park, the horse racing park, is a really, really, really cool, unique feature of San Antonio that not many people have. They do all kinds of different stuff in these parking lots too. You can see these Christmas lights that they have here. They've got a carnival there right now, here in March. So you've got, I think this is like a spring break thing that they're doing, but they have other kinds of events, not just, I think they do dog racing potentially there too, and horse races, but lots and lots of different things, which is really cool. This area right here is the Forum at Live Oak. So the Forum at Live Oak is one of the major shopping centers. You've got, all kind of the big box stores, right? TJ Maxx, Ross, Target, Best Buy. There's Home Depot here, Kohl's. So you don't have, like your typical stuff, Hobby Lobby. There's all kinds of different things here. You got Chick-fil-A here. It's right next to Costco and then Academy. This is where your big Costco is. So if you're being close to a Costco is important, like I know it is to a lot of people, this is the one that my wife and I go to. And it is really, really nice. You also have IKEA. So that is a rare thing. And that's honestly an experience in and of itself, to go into IKEA and just walk around and just browse everything. You could be in there for a couple hours easily. A couple other things that are kind of unique. So just north of here, you've got Rolling Oaks Mall. This is kind of more of a typical mall setting, right? And then just up the road, basically getting closer into New Braunfels, but I like to point it out, let me see if I can find it, is the Snake Farm and Zoo. So this really isn't, I wouldn't call this, like a true Schertz and Cibolo amenity, but it is, a really, really cool spot just up the road, which is kind of like just a small zoo setting. They do all kinds of different events with the animals and everything. It's really cool. And then up 3009, which is where one of these big HEBs is at. So right here is 3009. Okay, so you have one of the big HEB pluses is right here up on the highway next to Lowe's. You go straight up 3009 through Garden Ridge, and this is where you get to Natural Bridge Caverns and the Natural Bridge Wildlife Ranch. You can see right here, so the Wildlife Ranch, and then the caverns are right here. You can go walk through the cave. You go take a ride through the Wildlife Ranch. They give you food. You go drive through. The animals will come right up to the car window. Ostriches, zebras, deer. I mean, different kinds of sheep and goats. You know, all kinds of different stuff that you can see. They've got cheetahs in there, not that walk up to the car or anything, but they're in a separate enclosure. But that's a really, really cool spot too, just up the road from the Schertz and Cibolo area. So it's another cool thing to take a look at. And then as far as restaurants, there's a lot of restaurants because this is San Antonio. Let me show you what you got here. So you've got a lot of the kind of main places that are more of the, what would you call them? Like the chain places. So like Willie's, there's right there. Up here at the Forum, you can see you got all kinds of stuff up here. You got a Cheddar's, you got this Bubba's Pizza and Burger. What else you got? You got, La Madeline, Social Kitchen. You got unreal amount of options when it comes to that. Down here, more in the proper, Schertz Cibolo area. So over here, a couple of the more popular places. Where are we at here? Right here. So this is like the little downtown Cibolo area. You've got Kindling, you've got Rooted Fork, both really popular. Harmon's Barbecue, you can see that's a very 2,000 reviews, 4.5 stars. So if you like barbecue, Texas barbecue, that's a good place. Naggio's, you got a ton of different places. Catalano's, pizzeria thing. I haven't seen that place before. You've got a couple of these other ones too. Wing It, Mexican restaurants here. Let's Go, Slim Chickens. You got just restaurants just scattered everywhere. There's a Chick-fil-A right in here. There's also one over at the Forum. So no shortage of restaurants close by if you're living in this area too. Now, when it comes to outdoors, let me go back to this other map so you can see a little bit better. Couple big ones. Olympia Hills, right? The Olympia Hills golf course right here is a really, really good spot. This is a really popular neighborhood right here by the Forum. This whole area here. It is one of the more established neighborhoods. You can see all the trees. It's definitely one of the more higher priced neighborhoods just because you've got bigger lots, you've got more trees. You can see a lot of these over here just comparing homes kind of stacked on top of each other versus over here you got a little bit more space, more custom style homes, right? So that's a really, really good neighborhood. If you're looking to be in this area and you want to be specifically in that neighborhood, reach out to me and I can kind of focus on. I've got some different things that I've done in the past as far as reaching out to agents that work in the area and clients and residents to see if they're actually willing to sell their home. If you're looking to be in one specific neighborhood and you can't find a house for sale, reach out. We can kind of talk about what we can do for that. A couple of the other things too, we've got a lot of new construction. We're going to get into that once we get over to the real estate section, but I'll mention HEBs too for grocery stores, right? So you got the HEB Plus that I mentioned up here on 3009. You've got Costco, which is basically right here. I don't know why it's showing iMart Express, but Costco's right here. And then you've got the other HEB in Cibolo right here, which is a newer HEB, right? So you got several options there. There's also one over here in Universal City right off of 1604. So Universal City is definitely the more affordable area. You got a lot more lower priced homes in this general area here than you would over in like the Schertz Cibolo. Another area I failed to mention was Marion. So Marion just down the road, a lot of developments going that direction. So Marion ISD is getting a lot of growth, but that's also where this Davenport High School and the schools that are feeding Comel ISD and Gardner Ridge go into play as well. Back to outdoors too, 1 second. We got Crescent Bend Natural Park, Nature Park, Crescent Bend Nature Park. So it's a huge 180 acre park just south of Cibolo proper. Right by the Cibolo Sports Complex. You kind of run down here and it has the Cibolo Creek that goes through it. So you can see the creek that's running right here. You can fish there, walk the dogs by the water, let the dogs run around in the water. It's a really nice creek, and you've got a lot of areas to walk around. As you can see, you can kind of go walk all through here. There's horse riding, hiking. It's just a very, very large area that you can do a lot of different outdoor activities, which is nice being as close to the city as you are to have something like that. And you can see Cibolo Creek kind of runs through this whole place going up to that Olympia Hills golf course up here. And there's different trails and everything that kind of follow Cibolo Creek throughout. Like if you just kind of scroll down, you can see some of them. So there's like some of these here. Not a lot of them aren't public necessarily, but there are some. So like you can see right here, this trail, Cibolo Creek Primitive Trail, right? And it kind of goes down to this little area where the library's at. Veterans Park here is right on the creek too, so this looks like a pretty good little fishing spot also with that big thing of water sitting there. So good opportunities for outdoor activities as well in this Cibolo Schertz area. Now, without further ado, let us get straight into some of these neighborhoods that we're talking about. So let me show you where they're at real quick just so you have an idea. So first one that we're going to go to is Grace Valley. Let me just pull it up here. It's going to be much easier if we can just... So Grace Valley by Lennar. This is going to be technically a Marion address, right? But as you can see, it is right on the edge, basically just north of Cibolo, but here's Marion. So all the same school district. You're gonna be a lot more affordable here. You can get some of these homes in the 200,000s, low 200,000s. We're gonna show you some that are a little bit higher price, kind of a little higher quality product from them. And then second is gonna be the Crossvine, one of my most favorite neighborhoods in the entire San Antonio area, just because of the style and everything that it's got. I mean, you can see this is the newer section. This is the older section up here. So it's a larger neighborhood. So you can see it kind of winds in here. Got a lot of open space here, a lot of trails that go through here. It's got little ponds that you can fish in. There's a big one right here. Little park, Heritage Oaks Park, which the neighborhood, it's in the neighborhood right here too, right next to the big amenity center that we're gonna show too. Got amphitheater, got all kinds of stuff. And then this new section down here is where a lot of the newer homes are at that we're gonna look at. Bunch of good builders. And then the last one, that very first house that I was showing you guys in the intro, Mesa Western here by Chesmar Homes. Some of the nicest luxury homes. I mean, you can see it's not even on the map. It's so new, right? It's got a really, really good style. I mean, true custom feel on the homes themselves. Let me just go here to where's the website at? So just so you can kind of see some of these different homes that are in Mesa Western, you're not going to want to miss some of these. So this is the model home here. They've got some quick move-ins available. You can see the price points. $575 for a really nice cut. I mean, 2,600 square foot house. That's a really good one too. $650, $650, $790. They've got some that are in the 800s that are under contract too. So you can kind of go all the way up. There's also Highland Homes in that neighborhood too. Beautiful neighborhood. Now let's get to talking about real estate. We're going to look at those three homes like I've talked to you guys about, but I'm going to tell you about some statistics about this area first. So we have a total of, as of today in March of 2025, we have 501 listings currently on the market in this Schertz, Cibolo, Universal City ISD area, right? You've got a 168 are new build and 333 are existing homes. So you can see there's a lot more existing homes than new builds here, which is different compared to a lot of areas. If you go out on like that far west side, you know, Bernie, New Braunfels, there are quite a bit more new builds in relation to the existing homes. There's a higher percentage of them in those areas. There's not as many different neighborhoods to build out. Like I mentioned when we were going through the map, there's not as many different areas to build out in this school district. You kind of have to get into some of those other areas like Converse, you know, the East Central ISD areas kind of further south of here, or even going out east, you know, and going to like Marion, Seguin, and those areas, right? The median price point here is $368,000 overall. The range of homes for sale is $175,000 to basically $999,000. So there's nothing over $1 million on existing homes. So that kind of shows you a little bit more of the affordability, right? You go over to New Braunfels, to Bernie, some of these areas we talk about a lot on this channel. I talk a lot about the luxury homes in those areas. We're in luxury homes right now, and this home that we're in right now is just that last one. The very first one I showed you in the intro and the last one that we're gonna walk through is a crazy, crazy good price at a crazy big discount for this brand new home. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk about that. It is not luxury pricing for this at all. You also have overall 70% of the homes listed are under 450,000. So that sweet spot's kind of that 300 to 450,000 here, which is pretty nice compared to, you know, say the Bernies, right? Looking at the new build specifically, you got a price range of 200,000 to 700,000 on the homes currently available for sale. This neighborhood, Mesa Western, right now has homes that can go a lot higher than that, especially if you build, which the majority of people that do move into this neighborhood and buy homes in this neighborhood are building those so they can customize and build these big extravagant houses like you see behind me. But this one is a 2,600 square foot house. We're looking at they can do 3,000, 3,700, 4,000 square foot homes. There's big houses that you can build in these neighborhoods, right? And Talking about the, the overall new homes, right? The median age for homes in this area is actually 7 years old. So you can see they recently started developing this within the last, 20 years. This area was not overly populated before. Randolph Air Force Base has been there for a long time, but the development of the neighborhoods didn't come until this millennia. So, a lot of these areas are very similar to that west side of San Antonio, where that west side of San Antonio and Helotes, they kind of started developing those areas 15, 20 years ago. Same thing over here. This was kind of that first area in San Antonio that really started to develop a lot. So the typical new builds are over 300,000. There's only 28 of those 168 that are actually under 300,000, which is actually a decent amount. And pretty much all of them are in one neighborhood, and that is Grace Valley by Lennar. So that is where we're going to start first. We're going to do that tour right now, and then we'll get into the Crossvine and then get into this one to finish this off at Mesa Western. Welcome to our first home stop here in the Schertz and Cibolo tour of homes, as I will say. This is Grace Valley, a Lennar community. All of these homes behind me are starting at basically 200,000 all the way up to almost upper 300s really. The most affordable new build community in all of this area for sure. This home behind me in particular just came back on the market. You're gonna get a lot better deal on this house than you will on any other one. We'll tell you what the price is on this one at the end. It's a 1,900 square foot house, 3 bed, 2 bath. It's got a study. They are, just to be completely frank with you guys, a lot better quality than what you're gonna see in a lot of the other Lennar communities in this San Antonio area. This is their higher end product compared to their lower 200s, right? So this one is less than 300,000 actually. You've got 2 bedrooms right here at the front. You've got the kind of squared off, baseboards and trim around here. It's got quartz countertops in here with the, the shower with the tile, right? So you can see all of that there. You've got high ceilings in here. It's 9-foot ceilings throughout this area. Walk in, this laundry room here. A lot of their laundry rooms with Lennar is typically just like a closet. It's kind of not really a true laundry room, more of like a laundry closet, but this is actually a true laundry room. And you've got a study, which actually has its own closet. If you wanted to use this as a 4th bedroom, you technically could, because you got your bathroom right there too. Your garage here, not gonna have garage door openers. You gotta add that, but you definitely have enough space for, a decent sized 2-car garage actually. LVP flooring, so the vinyl plank flooring here. You've got a good sized kitchen island here. It is a gas community. The tax rate here is incredibly low. It's less than 1.5. It's right around 1.4%. So it's an incredibly low property tax rate as well. You've got a good walk-in pantry over here, a pretty big space for a refrigerator, honestly. You've got tons of space here, but you got a good sized walk-in pantry, and then you've got even a little coat closet here too. So the way this layout would look, for me, is this kind of your dining space. This is a big living room space. Again, 1,900 square foot house, single story. You get a lot of space too. You do have a decent, ish covered patio. You can fit, some chairs and everything back there. Privacy fence and everything. This one is the corner lot. It does back up right to this road here, so that's probably why this one's a little bit lower priced, but you have a lot of options here. They are going to be building 4,000 homes in this neighborhood, so they'll be here for several years to come. And this home in particular, like I mentioned, well, let's look at, before I tell you the price, I always get ahead of myself here. Master, all right, good sized master bedroom here. You've got plenty enough space for a king size bed here. This is a big room. Walk into the master bath. You've got the double vanities. You've got a really big walk-in shower here. You just need to add some kind of door or something here. They don't do anything like that. You've got toilet room in here, and then a good size walk-in closet also. So you've got all these different, lots of space for clothes in here. Now, pricing. Told you guys a range of prices for this neighborhood. This house, being the 3-2 with the study, 1,900 square feet, is at $281,000 for this brand new house. That puts you, if you're looking, again, I've mentioned this several times, this is a very military friendly area. If you're looking at a VA home, they're doing a 4.5% interest rate. If you're doing a VA loan, if you're doing FHA, they're doing 4.625, I believe. I'll have to double check that. But either way, VA loan here, you're gonna get about an $1,800 a month payment with this house right here as it sits. So keep that in mind as you're looking at your BAH and see if that's something that you want to use that towards, is buying a house like this right down the road from everything that you need in the Schertz and Cibolo area that we've always talked about. This is a really, really good neighborhood for that first-time home buyer, that starter home, that you're looking at a more affordable product compared to some of the other ones that we're getting ready to look at. So without further ado, we've seen the homes in this neighborhood. Let's go over to the Crossvine and see those next. Welcome to the Crossvine. This behind me is the David Weekley model home for the Crossvine right here in Schertz. As you can kind of see, just kind of panning around the property out here, the lots themselves, the fencing is very, very unique. It is very farmhouse style, as you can kind of see by the siding and some of the board and batten features on a lot of these houses. And I'll show you some of the roads as well. Amenities in this neighborhood are really, really good. It's got the resort style pool. It's got parks and kind of scattered trailheads everywhere throughout. It's got like an exercise court as you can kind of run through the trails, and different little stations throughout. It's got ponds to fish in, amphitheater, bocce ball courts, all kinds of stuff. Multiple different builders, David Weekley being one of them. David Weekley is an outstanding builder in the San Antonio area. It's also got Highland, Chesmar, Brightland, and Scott Felder. So you have a lot of builders to choose from. David Weekley itself starts at right at 400,000, going all the way up to 600,000. Multiple different size lots, 45 foot, 55 foot. So you got the bigger, estate size lots. This is the Paddington floor plan that we're going to look at for their model home. This one in particular is about 2,400 square feet, a little over that. Prices start around 450 for this one. My guess is you're probably going to be around 500 to get this house with any kind of upgrades whatsoever. There's going to be lot premiums, all that stuff. You know how the builders work. So as you come in, so this is normally a wall. This would normally be here. You kind of come around, and this would be your door to the garage. This one has a 3-car garage, right? But as you can see, as you walk in, you've got a lot of open space. You've got a pretty good sized entryway. This is kind of like a formal dining, study, second living area, whatever you want to use it for. And then up front, you've got this guest suite, completely standalone bedroom and bathroom by itself, which is really nice. These are pretty good size. I mean, this is probably a full-size bed, so you've got a little bit extra space to fit a good-sized queen-size bed in here. No walk-in closets here, but you've got a decent-sized closet there. So for the front bedroom, it's a perfect situation here. Walk-in shower. You can see David Weekley does some really good finishes. One thing David Weekley is really, really proud of is its energy efficiency. So let me just show you real quick in here, just so we can talk about David Weekley real quick. But this is kind of what they talk about for their, all of their advanced wall systems. They do 2x6 framing, which is huge. They do, you can see they got the green. They do the termite treatment and everything. They do PEX piping. They do all kinds of insulation upgrades to make the houses a lot more energy efficient, right? We can talk about some more of those too. If you got more specific questions about it, we can get into that. So getting into this area, as you can see, living space this way. We're going to go here first. So these are the other 2 secondary bedrooms. You've got your big laundry room here. You've got a little, kind of folding area here. You could use it as a little desk area if you wanted to. Some cabinets up above, but just overall good size. Your third or their second that we've been to bathroom here, full bathroom for these 2 bedrooms here. These are kids' bedrooms, right? They're not big. You can see this is a very, very small bedroom. It's probably a 10 by 10, right? This one over here is relatively similar. Full-size bed in here takes up a lot of space. So these aren't huge secondary bedrooms by any means, but it fits for the children. Again, kind of going towards what we had talked about with the Schertz and Cibolo area. This is a very family-friendly neighborhood, family-friendly area. So that's kind of fits the vibe for all of that. Now, as you come in, you definitely don't need to use that as a formal dining, because this is plenty big enough space to be a true formal dining. You've got the buffet that you could add. That's definitely not standard. It's got the leather countertops on it, but all that extra cabinets for the storage is really, really nice. Lots of good sized windows in here. All these big picture windows everywhere, which is really, really good. Brings in a lot of light out here. You've got these leathered countertop options. David Weekley, again, like a lot of these good builders that we've talked about, Perry, Highland, for example, Coventry, they really have a lot of options to customize the house and the plans that you pick whenever you're either building or whenever you're just looking for the spec homes out there. There's going to be a lot of different options for the homes that you're purchasing in these neighborhoods with these builders. You can see you've got the countertop or the cabinets all the way to the ceiling with the glass fronts on those up there for display. You've got gas in this neighborhood. You can see they got just all kinds of different stuff, from the green cabinets to the you know, the big built-in ovens. You've got this extra space over here. Me personally, I would have probably preferred the sink to be right there, but hey, that's to each his own. Also, these floors, these are the LVP flooring, the vinyl plank flooring, in a really good sized living room too. It's you know, definitely got plenty of space. You got plenty of space here between the island. It's not crammed with the couch right up next to the island. And before we get back to the master, let's maybe poke our heads out here real quick and look at the back patio. They really want you to be spending a lot of time out here. Now, as you can see, this is a good sized patio back here, but you can see how the fences are. That's how the fences are in every part of this neighborhood. Crossvine, as you can see in some of these other views that I'll show you here in just a second, driving through, the vines they plant right next to these fences, and the intention is for those vines to grow and completely cover. So your privacy in the backyard is natural, right? It's from those vines growing on the fences like that. So kind of a unique feature, which hence the name, the Crossvine, right? So let's get back into this master suite back here. And again, so this one was 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It does have the option for this floor plan in particular to be able to add a bonus room to make this a 1.5 story. So a bonus room with a bathroom upstairs, which is really, really nice. For those of you guys that do have a lot of kids and want them to have their upstairs space, but you still want a single story home, it's a really big benefit that not a lot of people get the luxury to have. King size bed in here. You can see the size of the space. It's a big room. It's plenty of space, tall ceilings everywhere, right? Lots of lighting too. Master suite here, double vanities. Again, that leathered granite carrying across in here too. You've got these kind of oak style, just kind of more natural look cabinets. Your walk-in showers are really, really good size shower. They did kind of the vertical subway tile with that little wavy texture to it. The green's kind of a cool look with the black. I think it kind of matches and does pretty well, but you can see they've got, you know, your kind of a cool spot here actually is that they have their on-off, what do you even call that, valve, the shower valve right there, so that you can turn it on without having to go all the way into the shower. And then you've got a good sized closet here. And I'm interested to see if they normally do this without a door. I don't know if they would typically do this without a door. I would want a door for my closet, but it keeps the door from, I mean, your door most of the time always open in your closet, but I mean, I guess you could probably add that if you needed to. But got some cabinets here, got lots of space, so good sized closet. It's a really good sized home, really good home, 2,400 square foot. Like I said, this is just one example of the many builders in the Crossvine. Again, Brightland, Chesmar, Highland, and Scott Felder, plus David Weekley. Probably 5 of my top 7 builders in the entire San Antonio area, all in this one neighborhood. So let's not waste any more time. We're gonna get to that very last house in Mesa Western, the Chesmar home that you guys have been wanting to see for a while now, ever since the beginning of this video. So let's go take a look at that right now. Welcome into Mesa Western. So as you can see all around us, we have these luxurious homes from Highland Homes and Chesmar Homes. Very, very big houses, really good quality, good style homes, lots of customization options for building here, and some of the higher priced homes in this Schertz and Cibolo area. So this one behind me is kind of the exception for this neighborhood. Honestly, a lot of these houses in this neighborhood sell for $650 plus. This one is not anywhere close to that, and it has had a massive price reduction. So I'll tell you all about that. As you can see, you kind of have this big circle drive. You've got a corner lot. You've got a lot of upgrades on the inside that you're gonna see. It's completely brick facade right here with a side entry, 2.5 car garage. You can kind of see how it's separated off to the side. You can use that for like a gym, workshop, whatever you want to do. Chesmar has a lot of that where they make those garages extra wide, so you can really utilize that space. But getting into the house, this is the Samantha floor plan. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath. It is 2,597 square foot, all single story. So that you don't get single story homes this big a lot of times. The really big benefit, in my opinion, of this floor plan is kind of the uniqueness of it. Chesmar does a really good job of not making cookie cutter style homes, right? I mean, you have, as soon as you walk in, you've got kind of a front, you know, guest suite with a bedroom, and it's full on bath with a walk-in shower right here. You can see you've got these 8-foot doors everywhere, 10-foot ceilings throughout this house. On the lower level, you've got this tray ceiling here in the living room. So coming into the living room, you've got a big living room space, LVP flooring here, high baseboards too. You can see how big those baseboards are. You've got an electric fireplace to kind of give you that extra ambiance without the mess of everything else. The full sliding glass doors on a pretty good sized back patio. We won't go out there because it is crazy windy here today, and that is going to be a very, very loud area because of the wind blowing right there. But you can kind of see on the backside here, they've got gas hookups out there on their patio. They've got power and everything out there, so you can put TV and everything. This yard is actually a decent size because of it being in the corner lot, but being a bigger single story, you're not going to have quite as much space. But the other big thing that I love about this is this double island situation. So you have one here. It's got 2 bar stools for the staging. You could easily fit 3 here. Big farmhouse, stainless steel sink. And then you've got more seating on this side too. You could easily fit another 3 over here. So lots of seating opportunities here in this kitchen. Tons of cabinet space and countertops. And you've got these glass fronts on these also. So kind of a nice little facade here, kind of matches both sides. It's also a propane gas community too. As one good thing about Mesa Western is that it is gas. Obviously, it's in Schertz and Cibolo, ISD. We've got some other things around here, but I want to tell you a little bit about the neighborhood too. So we are in the city of Cibolo. This is city of Cibolo in Mesa Western. You've got a 1.933% property tax rate here, which is actually relatively low compared to everywhere else in San Antonio. The HOA here, which pretty much just covers maintenance of everything, is $800 a year. They do have some parks and everything in here that they maintain, do all of that kind of stuff too, which is nice. As you can see over here, you've got your kind of formal dining space, which is good. You got the kitchen in between there and the living room. You've also got a study, playroom, whatever you want to use this for over here, which is kind of nice. That's separated with those French doors there. Over here, you've got the 1 bedroom in front. It says 4 bedrooms. You got 2 over here. So you're going to have full bath here. Good sized bath. You've got the tile shower surround there, little mud bench area here. This is actually your pantry. So you've got a really good sized walk-in pantry. Again, 10-foot ceilings everywhere. So you've got the shelving that goes all the way up. And then you've got your 2 bedrooms here. 2 decent sized bedrooms with good sized closets, which are perfect for, kids' rooms or guest rooms, whatever. Now I'm gonna show you this garage in here. So you can see you've got a good sized garage. You've got 2-car bay here, plenty deep this way. You've got 2 water heaters for this house. You've got the water softener hookups, the loop on that side. And you've essentially got this whole extra space. So roughly about 6 foot of space over here that you can fit, like I said, workout bench over here, extra storage, workshop bench, whatever you need for this extra little space. It gives you that extra room, whereas typically in most 2-car garages with these types of builders, you don't get a lot of that, which is really good. All right, so going through here. Oh, and then laundry room too, can't forget that. Good sized laundry room actually. It's got a good enough space for, you got your washer dryer hookups. You might have a little bit of space to put like a little cabinet there too. You can put some cabinets on this wall also, just kind of give you some extra room too. And then on to the master, which is over here right around the corner. It kind of hides from you if you're not paying attention. No carpet in the master. They took the LVP through here. It is a really good sized room. You've got a big king size bed in here, again with the tall ceilings, with the tray ceiling too. You got kind of a bay window with a seat there, which is kind of cool. And then in here, you've got all these little extra details. Right, so you've got this extra countertop here with the extra cabinets for more storage too. You've got these French doors. You've got the hexagon tile right here, quartz countertops. They did this framed out mirrors on both sides, the standalone tub there, big walk-in shower with the frameless glass windows, or frameless glass on it. And like I said too, this house was crazy reduced in price. This house, you can see a big closet too with some built-ins there, really big closet, right? This house was originally listed for $773,000. Okay, this is a higher end neighborhood, right? You're going to pay for a higher price. However, a lot of that was a lot of the extras that they added in here with some of these different cabinets, some of the finishes, that circle drive, the corner lot premium, all of those little things add up quite a bit. They have reduced this house over $200,000 to $573,000. So this house, as it sits right now, is currently for sale. You can get it as it is for $573,000. This is crazy good deal in my opinion for this. We looked at some of those in Crossvine. I told you about some of those over there, what prices they were, like $570,000, and this is a a much higher end neighborhood. I mean, you can see from the houses that I've shown you and just some of the driving videos here. And overall, like I mentioned, a lot of the people that do end up moving here do end up building. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about some of these floor plans that they have. They have two different, they have 85-foot lots and the 77-foot lots. So you can build all the way down to like a 2,300 square foot house on the 77-foot lots. Starting prices are those for like $540, right? This one specifically, the Samantha, the starting prices on these are higher than this. They're like $582, right, for this house. This is a starting price, and this one's already below that, and it's finished out, has all the extra upgrades. That is the base price without any upgrades, without any lot premiums, everything. So you're looking at probably a minimum base price if you're building this house, about $600,000, just to kind of show you what kind of a deal this house in particular gives you, right? You've got all these different floor plans all the way up to, for the smaller lots, 2,300 all the way up to 3,700 square feet. And then the bigger lots, you're at 2,500 square feet all the way up to 3,800 square feet. Starting prices on all of these are below 800,000. Most of the bigger ones are in that like mid sevens, really. So you've got a lot of good opportunities for homes here. I have helped, just so you guys know, if you haven't, seen any of these videos already, I have helped a ton of people just like you build homes, right? So if you're looking at building in Mesa Western or the Crossvine or any of these other neighborhoods, Buffalo Crossing, which is also another Chesmar neighborhood just down the road from here. If you're looking at building in any of these areas or just buying a spec home, reach out. You can message me. You can call, text, email, anytime, days, nights, or weekends. All my information is down in that first comment and in the description below. You can also message us at the website. So whatever you guys need to do to get in touch with us, I would love to have a conversation with you about building here. These builders are all realtor friendly, so they all work with us, and it is a big benefit, in my opinion, for you guys to have somebody like me that's done this a ton of times to be able to work through all the different questions and make sure we're asking all the right things for each house and working with you through the process with inspections, making sure everything's done. I've got a construction background, engineering degree, all that stuff. So I would love to help you guys with building your house, whether it's here, whether it's in any one of those other neighborhoods in the Schertz and Cibolo area. And as I've said plenty of times before, if you have any need whatsoever of, have any other questions about moving to the San Antonio area, anywhere around here, do not hesitate to reach out. Now, for this next video, I want you guys to take a look at, I did a pretty overarching, high-level breakdown of all the top suburbs, including the Schertz and Cibolo area in the San Antonio area. So take a look at that video right here. And until the next one, we'll see you there.